Alright, so we are going to remove our water pump and replace it. It has already 137,000 miles on it, so this is just a preventative measure actually to replace it. It doesn't seem to have any leak or anything yet, but we're not trying to push it. So anyways, as a preventative maintenance, we're replacing the thermostat and the water pump together. Removing the water pump alone doesn't actually require removal of the alternator. You can leave it in, but we already removed it, which to get to the thermostat, it is required to remove the thermostat, and then it also gives us more room to work with our water pump, so it's kind of nice to do it all at once. And but first, if you're going to do this process, you do want to disconnect your battery before you take out your alternator, and of course the first thing before that was removing the serpentine belt, and we have links for all of that on the left side of the screen there in the corner if you need help with doing any of that. And and I don't think I even mentioned draining the coolant, but that's pretty straightforward. There's a drain plug right down here to drain your coolant, and make sure don't take off that radiator cap if your engine is hot. So now we're just going to take off the mounting bolts. There are 6 mounting bolts that hold the water pump to the engine, and they're all 10mm head bolts, and they're not torqued down too tight, so you can probably just use a 1/4" ratchet with the 10mm socket on it. And let's see, a couple of the bolts are in the back. They're a little bit trickier to get to. You have to fill in there and find them. Let's see, there's one down there. Don't forget to put your bucket down below so that you can catch the coolant that's going to fall out and take the water pump out. Alright, and actually what we'll show you in a little bit when we have the pump out is that it's an updated pump from Toyota, and it uses a couple of different bolts. So we'll show the old and the new parts so you can see the difference. So we're just continuing to remove all of our bolts. As you can see, some of the bolts are going to be longer than others on this pump, but that's going to change on the new one. This is where you could run into a little bit of an issue with aftermarket pumps. They might try to tell you it won't fit or something like that, when it probably will if you just change the bolts. But of course, I doubt the aftermarket parts store have the bolts needed to make it fit. So in that case, probably get a hold of them at the dealer actually. So yeah, you can see we got a couple of shorter ones. Alright, so I see we got 6 bolts out of there now. So, ooh, there we go. Now we can remove our pump. There's the O-ring, make sure you get that out of there. And now we'll compare and see what we need to do to make the new one fit. Okay, so here we have our old and new pump. As you can see here, the difference is in the flange, where the bolts go. We have 2 thicker spots on the old pump, and it's actually even all the way around on the new pump. So it's the same height all the way around on the flange area. So it can cause a little bit of confusion. So there's 2 size bolts that hold this pump in, and actually the 2 that go in the tall spots are actually shorter bolts, and now they're even shorter because they have reduced the height here. So we'll actually show you on the engine where the bolts are supposed to go, because it might be hard to tell when you're trying to put the pump in place. Okay, here we have our 3 different bolt sizes. This is the new bolt. You have 4 long ones, 2 short ones, and these 2 short ones are actually going to go away. These 2 we're going to throw out, and we're going to replace them with 2 of even shorter bolts. So to see how they go on the engine, we'll show you, we'll kind of demonstrate how they fit in. Okay, so if you're unsure about where to place your bolts for your water pump, you can check and compare the bolt hole locations. Some of them, the bolt will go all the way through this plate and thread into the block behind it. So that's the longer bolts. That's where those are going to go. Then for the shorter bolts, they actually thread into the timing cover in front. And as you can see in this location, this one starts threading immediately. And oops, well, that didn't help. But there we go. This one you can see is threading into the timing cover, and so it doesn't go in as deep. And then this one, see, goes and threads in the block. So that's the difference between the longer and the shorter bolts. And the shorter bolts are the ones that are getting changed if you're using the newer style water pump. Okay, here we are ready to install our water pump. Let's see, there's a groove right there where the gasket's gonna sit in. You can just basically set it in there, but be careful not to knock it out or dislodge it in any way. So then we gotta hold our water pump into place and line up all our bolts. Probably we can get a couple of them started, and then that'll make the rest of it easier. So I'm just gonna set it in place and see, make sure we got it rotated in the right position. There we go. Okay, so it's gonna sit like that, and it's gonna start with a bolt at the top. This is one of the longer bolts. And I'll do one at the bottom. This one's a little tricky to reach, but you just gotta do it by feel. There you go. Don't want to get that water pump get out of place, or we'll end up threading into nothing. Alright, so you don't want to tighten anything down. I'm just doing hand tight until I have everything in place. And some of the old bolts that I'm reusing had corrosion on them, so I put a little bit of anti-seize compound on there to prevent further corrosion and prevent them from locking up in the future. In case we ever have to remove this water pump again, you never know, it could go bad. Might want to replace that leak that's developing on the timing cover, which I'm not really looking forward to. Let's see, what else do we need to get? I'm trying to put in the wrong bolts here. Alright, here's one of our short ones down here. There we go. And the other short one's going in the back. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the last one? It's way in there. There it is. This one's kind of hard to reach. Alright, so now I'll go around and tighten them up. just gonna lightly tighten them all the way around. And then we'll tighten them up to the torque spec. And you're gonna get that annoying dinging happening all the time from the pulley. Alright, so once you got them all tightened down, put everything back together. Next we're going to put our alternator back. Then we're going to put our serpentine belt back, fill our cooling system, reconnect our battery, and run it and bleed out the air from the cooling system, and then we'll be all done.